YouTubers. I'm in Bowschool Park in Blaby, which is the park is about half a mile from where I live, and can you believe this is the first time I've actually been into the park. It opened up years ago, but I've never actually been in, so thought I'd come and have a look. I've done my oil change. Motul 5100, it's a 1040 Technosynthes ester based oil. Apparently with these ester based oils, they're supposed to be very good in the gearbox. The molecules don't get chopped up and destroyed like in a lot of synthetic oils. They have a very high shear factor. So we'll see how it is and see if it improves the gear change. Just a note on the Technosynthes side of the oil, that's supposed to, the actual molecules of the oil are attracted to metal, and so basically when you switch off, the hot oil doesn't all drain down in the engine, the metal parts all stay coated. But something I did notice that I've never noticed with any other oil that I've used before was I used my funnel obviously to put the oil into the engine, and when I'd finished I just dropped the funnel into the top of the can while I sort of cleared and tidied everything up, and when I'd finished, the funnel was still heavily coated with oil inside. I mean, normally once it's been left a while, the oil sort of drains off and you get just a very thin coating of oil left inside the funnel, but this was quite thick. So I'm thinking, maybe there is something to what they say, although this is plastic, it's not metal, but we'll see how it goes anyway. So we'll go for a bit of a spin and see what she's like when she's properly warmed up, and how it feels. I've put on a radiator guard. Whether you can see that or not, very clear. We'll just cut to a bit of video before I put the panels on. We'll take a quick look at the radiator guard before I put all the fairing and everything back on, and there it is. Quite pleased with that. Right, let's go for a buzz and see how it is. Right, while I'm in Blaby, I'll just briefly show you some of the old parts of Blaby where I live. Beautiful little village just south of Leicester. This is my old school. That was my very first school, and here is the beautiful old church, All Saints Church. It's my church, this was when I was a kid. And just for Susnet, because I know he likes his churches, we'll pop in and have a quick look. Hope you don't mind, folks. But I know Susnet 555 loves his churches, so we'll just have a quick look. I used to come to this church when I was a kid. We're going to the school just there. We're always here doing grave rubbings and all sorts of things. I'm not sure what year it is, it's old. There's a lot of buildings in Blaby that date back to about the 13th century. Can't see a date. But beautiful old place. Round the back there you've got the rectory gardens where they do the wedding photos and such like. I remember a story that the vicar used to tell us, that when the church was being built, a chap fell from the steeple and he was buried where he landed. I can't remember where his gravestone is. It might be this one here. It's pretty close to the steeple. August 25th, 1855. I don't know whether that's the one or not. I don't know how old the church is. But anyway, we'll carry on. This is where my mum lives, in one of these council flats. "91 this year. Absolutely amazing. And this is the Baker's Arms. I think it's the oldest pub in Blackbird. Dates back to 1845. Thatch roof. Beautiful place, lovely inside, but it's all very low. I mean, I'm only 5'10", and I have to stoop to get under the doorways and things. Anyway, enough of all this waffling. She'll finish up with another 50-minute video. We'll go for a bit of a buzz now and see how the gearbox is. I've put my GoPro on wide angle because I normally have it on the narrow setting, because I just think that setting looks more natural. But I thought I'll try it on the wide angle and see how it looks. And I've also upped the frame rate from 25 to 50 frames per second. I always used to use 25 because it was just easier when I was processing, because I was using a laptop which wasn't that powerful, so it used to take quite a long time. But I've got a more powerful machine now, desktop PC, and it copes with it really well. Well, so far so good. The Gearbox feels like butter. Beautiful. I mean, she's not properly warmed up yet. Water's up to temperature, but I doubt if the oil is. I noticed on my last video I get a bit more wind noise now. I think I get more wind noise on the microphone on this bike than I did riding the GSXX, if I can say it, GSXS. And the thing is, this screen is really low and it directs all the wind into my shoulders and neck area, so consequently it kind of generates a bit more wind noise on the microphone. I've got the microphone inside the chin piece of my helmet, and I've got wind jammers on there. I think you'll notice my voice will sound quite clear at low speed, and then as the speed rises then you hear a little bit more wind noise. I'll probably get another screen for it at a bit later date. I've already got my eye on one on eBay. A Puke screen. I do like the Puke screens. They're quality and they just seem to work really well. And Puke do a double bubble for this. 80 quid. Stay there, mister. Thank you, missus. Gearbox does feel better. It's gear change is a lot lighter. It just seems to sneak through the gears. A lot cooler today, at 18 degrees. After the temperatures in the high 20s and 30 that we've had, but it's much nicer on the bike. You're not roasting in the leathers. I had a problem with my ignition. Since I had the bike, I noticed it was a little bit kind of notchy. And sometimes to switch the ignition on, you had to sort of like try and lift the key a little bit. It was quite sticky, and I put a little bit of 3-in-1 oil into the lock, and it didn't seem to make any difference. And I went to go out the other day, and I just could not turn the ignition on. It turned the key and got the steering lock off, but couldn't turn the ignition on. So I've got a spare key, which is still brand new, still in its plastic sleeve, and I got that, and still the same. So in the end I got my WD-40 with the straw, and absolutely blasted the lock, put the straw in through the gate of the key of the lock, and give it a real good soaking, and so far so good, it's done the trick. Gearbox is beautiful, it has made a big difference. This bike, the more I'm getting into it. Like I said before, I do miss the Suzuki, but I can understand why Blackbird owners hang on to the bikes for so long and why they do such huge mileages. Really getting into the Blackbird groove now. Oh, load of grit there. Try and avoid that. Bye bye. Anyway, just to recap on the oil, gear change is so much better. I can't believe what a difference just, you know, different oil has made. It's loads smoother, and the biggest difference is changing gear at high RPMs. It was quite clunky before, but now even changing gear at a higher RPM, it's nice and smooth. But what I have noticed is I used to get a whine from the gearbox. Don't tell the wife, because she'll be looking for it with a glass in her hand. But especially at this speed, and the microphone used to pick it up more than what I could hear it, I think because I use earplugs. But at the slower speeds like this, you just get a little bit of a whine from the gearbox, and that has gone. It's completely gone. Well, I certainly can't hear it. We'll see what the microphone picks up. So this oil certainly does what it says on the can. So huge. It's alright, I'm just making sure I'm still recording. Occasionally it's got a habit, it'll just stop recording and come up with an SD card error, and I don't know why, because it's got a quality SD card in it. But yes, big improvement. So I'm a happy bunny. But yeah, certainly no whine from the gearbox. Can't hear anything at all. Gear change is nice and slick. So if you're looking to change your oil, Motul 5100 semi-synthetic 1040, highly recommend it. Highly recommend it. Along with the tyres I had fitted, the Michelin Pilot Road 4s, they are awesome. But I've spoke about that before, so I'm not going to bang on about that again. because I do have a habit of repeating myself. My age. There's a lot of rain just out to the east of us. It is absolutely throwing it down. This is literally missing us by about a mile. Keep getting the odd little bit of rain in the air, but hopefully I'll get home before I get a soaking. See if we can get a cheeky overtake. Are we clear? Yeah, here we go. Bike certainly seems to pull better. It seems more responsive. I don't know whether that is the oil or whether it's just because it's cooler today. There's, you know, the air is a bit more damp, a bit more moisture in the air, but it certainly seems to pull harder. So whether it's the oil or whether it's just the damper atmosphere, it has been really hot. Quite pleasant today to be out on the bike. It's about 18 degrees and it's just a nice temperature, not boiling in your leathers. Anyway, I'll sign off now before I run into another 3/4 of an hour video. I'll try and keep this one a bit shorter. Thank you for all those that have subscribed and the new subscribers. Welcome along. I'll try and keep my videos a bit shorter and a bit more interesting. A bit of a learning curve. I am learning as I go along. I'm learning a lot as well from fellow YouTubers, watching their videos. There's some brilliant stuff out there. There really is. So I'll say thank you for subscribing, and please leave a comment. I appreciate the comments. It's nice to have a chat with fellow like-minded bikers, talk about the things that we're interested in. So leave a comment please, and I'll speak to you all soon. Stay safe. Bye for now.